Welcome in RGC. Today I just want to talk a little bit about Yukon version 5 and Terraform and the reasons why I have gone with a Terraform only version with version 5. Um, Basically it's just to help with the materials not changing to another material on the map. So when I have the materials painted in the map before you start playing, there's a chance that there's a mod of some sorts that adds in fill types that could change the channel that I have set for that fill type and make it a different fill type. It's hard to explain, but what you need to understand is people want to play with other mods. People want to play with Maze Plus, which has been the biggest issue. Um, People want to play with another production that adds in 5 or 6 new fill types to run that production. And when this happens, sometimes the channels will change within the map, so all the material that was already pre-placed will change that channel number, which will cause it to be another material. Okay, so in order to make this so this doesn't happen, you just remove all the materials, because once the materials are all moved, those channels, if they change, it doesn't matter, because when you're getting a fill type and placing it on the ground, it's already in that state. So if you're digging it up using Terraform, it will be coal. It won't change if you add another mod that does that. So if Maze Plus is in there, you have no materials in the map. If you're digging coal or you're digging dirt, it's going to be dirt. It's not going to change it while you're digging it. It only changes it if it's already preset in there. The channel numbers change, so now it's going to think it's grass or manure or carrots or whatever. So you're going to have a huge pit full of manure, which is not right. Okay, so to take care of that conflict, I've decided to take out all the materials and go with Terraform. Terraform is a great mod once you get used to it. I've did some questions on the chat and I got a more positive than a negative feedback when it comes to using Terraform. I see that there's more people that like it and want to use it, but there is a select few that don't. And in this video, I just wanted to get across to you that don't be scared of it. I feel like in the end, this is going to be the best way for you guys to play the map. I have made the Terraform, or the RGC community, with a little bit of help. We have made the Terraform so you only dig certain materials that I want you to dig out of the map. So, you know, you're basically clay, stream hay, river sand, pay dirt, limestone, coal, even like mud. I'm not sure if I added that to it, but that is a realistic materials that you can dig straight from the earth. Obviously, all the other terraforms out there, you can dig carrots or you can dig potatoes straight out of the ground. That's not realistic. So we try to keep it as realistic as we can and limit you to certain fill types. Okay, so that's if you're using our Terraform. On top of that, I have an RGC mining pack that is a private mod that I've put together a bunch of FS miners machines and done some little edits, changes some of the control speeds, added in some friction to the tires, just better performance, and I put them together as a pack. So this is the ones that I like to use. They're mostly Volvos. You can look here. So the 950, 750, I've added in the bucket stuff and put the Terraform on this bucket here, and also brought in the excavator bucket, which is for the Volvo Platinum DLC Volvos. So that will work on those. This is very simple. This is all the machines I need. I just like to have 2 different excavators, 2 different sizes, a wheel loader, a little one here, the coal materials, and a rock truck. I am looking to add a bulldozer. I had one in there, but it was causing a few issues, so I've removed it, but I am going to be adding another bulldozer in. But that being said, the Terraform that I have for the RGC community is built to run those machines. The mining pack, like I said, is a private thing. I don't put it to the public, but it is on our servers that we play, public servers. So if you were to play on our servers, you will get the mining pack that I use. FS miners machines are not much different. They all work, but the Terraform may not work for them as I change the XML only to work with the ones I use. Keep that in mind. Alright, so now to go over the Terraform itself and how to use it. Okay? Again, at first it can get overwhelming and people just think it doesn't feel right because you get to change the material and all that stuff before you start digging. Yes, it looks that way, but it really isn't. I can literally set this up in not even a minute, less than like 20 seconds, and start digging for the materials that I want. In the menus, basically, F1 menu, it kind of tells you everything that you need to know. It should tell you everything you need to know, but it's not. I want to leave this here. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is open up the Terraform user interface. Okay, so you hit I. I is going to bring this up. Enable Terraform. That's global for all machines. You can turn that off so it doesn't exist on anything. Okay, debug modes, this turns off those little icons that you see on the edge of the bucket. That's cool for more realism, so when you're digging you can just turn those off, it still will dig. This is the settings that you need the most. Okay, this right here will enable the machine that you're in currently. Keep this in mind that every machine that you're using, you have to set it up for every one. So when I move the excavator, I'll have to set that one up real quick. Okay, most of these things you're not going to change much. You can read them if you like. This disables the paint, so it prevents painting new soil textures when terraforming. So it's going to keep the texture that's on the surface. It's just a global on-off, so you don't have to worry about changing it down there. Same thing with discharge, just disables that. Prevents the creation of material during terraforming. Okay, so you can terraform the whole area and not worry about materials. That's a cool feature. If you want to just clear a whole huge area and form it the way you like, you don't have to worry about materials forming. That's cool. Remove material around terrain deformation. Clear material option there. I don't touch much of this. All I really care about is the material I want to dig. So for this example, we're going to do some coal. Okay, coal is pretty neat. It's easy to see and all that good stuff. This changes the paint radius around your bucket. 100% basically matches your bucket. If you want to extend it, you can extend it out a little bit wider. I'm just going to keep that 100. Paint layers. So this is the layers that's going to paint to the ground. Terraform ground texture applied during terraforming. So this right here has basically all the ground textures that are in the map. Alright, so hopefully we can get to coal. I'm not sure if I added it to this map or not, but I did. Okay, so let's choose coal. So that's the texture. It's going to change the ground when I'm terraforming it. So discharge, so wherever I dump it, if I'm dumping material on the ground, that will paint the ground that color. So let's choose coal. I always usually change the same. That's what I'm choosing for a material. Again, you can do this pretty quickly if you already know what doing. I'm trying to explain this to you, so it's going to take a little bit longer. The rest of these settings is just basically just strength of how the terraform is going to dig into the hill or whatever you're digging into. At 100%, it's fairly decent. If you want to have a little bit stronger strength so you pull more material faster, just put it up the percentages. This radius, it just grabs more around the bucket, so it's not as realistic, but you can get it more quicker. When it comes to flattening, which we're going to show you right now, I usually always go up higher because it doesn't take as much. And I usually change the radius just a little bit, so it kind of flattens that area quicker. When I'm digging, so digging in the ground with the excavator and stuff, this strength here, sometimes I turn it down so it's a slower digging motion, so I can turn that down to like 50 and keep the same radius. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to flatten. We're going to use this wheel loader. So we're going to dig inside of this bank here, and we're going to flatten. First key bind to understand is up in the upper right there, the terraform material. So that's going to change the setting of it, of digging, lowering, whatever, flattening and material. So we're going to hit the Y key to change that. So if you want to dig down underneath, lower. If you want to flatten, I'm hitting Y. This is how you flatten. Flatten basically where my wheels are is where it's going to level to. So right in this area, once this is active, that's where we're going to dig to. It ain't going to go any lower than that. The discharge, we like to have it on material. You hit B to change this so we can raise it. So when we dump this bucket, the material is going to come out and raise the ground. Alright, so I'm terraforming material out, flattening it. Then once I dump it, it's going to raise the ground. So if I want to raise an area, terrain, I can dig in material over here, move it, and then dump, and then I'll add terrain. Okay, flattening terrain, same deal, except for it's not going to go any higher than my wheels. So if I have an edge, let's say over the side of that bank, and I want to flatten it, I can grab material from over here, flatten it over there. Alright, smooth, same kind of deal as using the in-tool brush. Just going to smooth that area, just going to add it as you're dumping out the material you're grabbing. But we're going to keep it on material. But this right here is paint, and you can just paint the ground, whatever I have the setting to. If I'm discharging, it's going to change the ground to coal, because that's what I have the paint texture set to. But we're going to leave our material. So we're flattening this area right here, and we're going to come out with material that we can dump on the ground and reuse it. Alright, so that's how you do it. Y changes the terraform, and B changes the discharge. So we have to leave discharge as material, and terraform set to flatten. Alright, now we're going to hit the O key. The O key enables it. You can turn blue and red. Alright, so now we're active, so we can start terraforming. We should grab coal. When I lower it down, it should change the texture to coal too. See how it changed the texture? So now I'm right level with my tires. I'm going to drive into the side of this bank. It's going to grab materials and level. See, it's flattening right to where my tires are. Alright, now I got a big thing of coal. I can drive it over here. And as I'm dumping, it should change that I don't have access to this land. Why not? Thought I bought this land. No, it's not about this land. Pretty sure about that land. What the hell land did I buy? Doesn't matter. Alright, so now I'm dumping that in there. Like underneath there, it should be that texture. Come back. We're going to flatten this area so it changes to a teal color. Drive into the side here, boom. Grabbing coal, 35,000 liters. Dumping it over there. Very simple, okay? Flattening is very good tool to use when you're using the wheel loaders to grab into the side of a bank. If you set it to lower, it gets kind of wonky, okay? Let's change it to lower. We're gonna hit the Y, it's smooth. This is the material, this is lower. Now when I'm digging lower, it just gets kind of weird. It still digs it down. Okay, see I'm digging down. Depends on how sharp I'm doing it. Now if I angle it down more, I can dig deeper. But I set my percentage really low. Okay, my radius a little bit higher, so it's not acting too bad. But I just dug a little bit of a hole there with the wheel loader. It doesn't perform as well lowering it, but you can do that if you like. Alright, so now we're gonna jump into the excavator. Set this one up real quick. Hit the I key to get this setting here. Just make sure that's on and on. Alright, so now we're gonna dig some pay dirt. Alright, leave this at 100%. We don't need to change anything here. Good. We're gonna see if we can find some pay. Don't think I have pay actually. So let's just use rough dirt. I like using rough dirt for most of my stuff I'm digging because it looks like it's kind of a darker dirt color. So most everything I choose is rough dirt that I leave. We're lowering it down, so let's change it to 50%. Leave that at 100. We're not flattening anything, so we don't need to worry about that. Alright, that's it. Fairly quick, very simple. Y key for lower. We want to leave that materials. Hit the 0 key. I mean the O key, sorry, for lowering. Alright, so now it's on. We can see that the nodes are on. And we're digging. You can see that that speed is fairly slow. So I may speed it up. It's kind of, see how slow that is? It's kind of realistic though, right? This is a big bucket too. But let's speed it up. Let's go back to 100%, see how that works. Yeah, that's pretty good speed in it. Fairly realistic. And I mean, I'm digging anywhere I like. Set it up very quickly. We're getting a good realistic reaction to the terrain. That's great as moving around and stuff like that. There is a setting on here that I can disable the bucket collision, and now when I'm digging in here, it's giving it looking more realistic. Just not going to bounce the excavator around. So I hit X to get rid of the collision on the bucket. And just like that, we're digging pay out of the side of this hill. Very smooth, very realistic. There's not much else I can say. I mean, I really hope you guys take to this terraforming. That now that we've made some changes to it, the reactions are a little bit better using the one that we supply for you. And I hope you guys understand the decision on why I've went with a version 5 to be terraform only. Basically, you guys can run any mod that you'd like to add fill types. You can have Maze Plus in there. It won't affect nothing. It won't change the materials at all that are already, you know, put into the game. But it's only going to change materials if I had them in the map, basically. And I don't have any materials in there no more, so I don't have to worry about it. Alrighty, so I really hope you guys get a better understanding of decisions that we've made going forward with the Yukon and most of my maps. Meadow Springs, I've always made it a terraform only map. There's no materials on that. Forest Valley, this is the map that we're on right now. This is also the map that we're running a public server on. Feel free, if you're interested in that, to join it. In our Discord, we have a channel set up for it, FS22 server, that has information to joining it to help out. It's going to be a single farm server where we all work together to reach a end game goal of, you know, an oil typhoon and then having a city that we've built with our replaceable city and a bunch of houses that we can make our city where we're making income from it. So hopefully we can reach that goal together. It should be a lot of fun. So take care, guys. Always remember, keep it real.